Thank you.
So my comment is want to review or examine our process of filling a vacancy. I have two RCWs that I found. One, 3616-110 vacancies in office seems to be what the commission used to form their county resolution 21-067 from. It says a couple of things it says is that the vacancy must be filled with one of three persons who must be nominated by the nonpartisan executive or nonpartisan chair of the Board of Commissioners of the county, and also says shall be within 30 days thereafter from the list of nominees provided in this section, appoint someone to fill the vacancy. That's the governor has 30 days once the commission has forwarded their three nominees. The other RCW (3632-070) vacancies on board. In that it says, if the two remaining commissioners fail to agree upon a selection after the expiration of 5 days from the day the vacancy occurred, the governor shall appoint the third commissioner. This is completely different than what the other RCW said. And it did not look like what you had based your resolution on. So I would like to review the timeline of how this event happened. I saw that on October 25th, 2021, an unknown communication took place between Lisa Huckleberry of Cowlitz and Kelly Wicker of the governor's office. Then on October 26th, 2021, Taylor Weinhoff to Amber Algera within the governor's office, and the subject was Cowlitz vacancy. The message was entirely redacted except for one phrase that said, "I hope this is helpful. Tip." On November 2nd, 2021, Lisa Huckleberry sends to Kelly Wicker letter and exhibits to Governor Inslee regarding appointment of District 3 Commissioner. The letter outlines the process that included the Cowlitz County Resolution 21-067, a public notice, and verification of eligibility for office. And the closing sentence of that letter was, "I am forwarding to your office for a final selection within 30 days from the application of Tamara Jones, Richard Dahl, and E. Christine Masters, Cowlitz County's nominees for District 3 Commissioner seat." Also on November 2nd, the Daily News article, "Cowlitz County Commissioner Finalist Sent to Governor for Consideration" was printed. In it, it said, Governor Jay Inslee will have 1 month to choose among 3 nominees for the vacant seat. It also said, under the process the board adopted in late August, the governor will have 30 days until December 1st to choose from 3 nominees, Richard Dahl, Christy Masters, and Tamara Jones. The next day, November 3rd, Taylor Weinhoff to Amber Algera within the governor's office. It looks like the Cowlitz folks have submitted the names to the governor for appointment. I haven't seen the official letter, but I understand it has been sent. 2 days later, November 5th, Teresa Purcell to Jamia Thomas using Purcell's business email address, Purcell Public Affairs @msm.com, and representing her business, Longview Impact Incorporated, Democracy, Government, Economy for All. Hi, I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for all you and the governor have done through these crazy times. I don't know if you remember me. We have met a number of times over the years through different legislative and political circles. As you may know, the Cowlitz County Commissioners were not able to agree on a replacement for Commissioner Joe Gardner in District 3, leaving the decision to the governor. Joe was elected as an independent, which makes the process unclear due to the lack of party participation and guidance. The remaining commissioners established a process to follow and then immediately ignored that process. They have forwarded 3 names, all of whom are associated with the Republican Party. The commissioners chose not to even consider one moderate who ranked 3rd in the rankings provided by the bipartisan committee that they had appointed to screen the applicants. I am giving you this background because there is a new person that has broad community support and is truly an independent that we would like the governor to consider. Our county government has been broken for several years. This appointment provides a great opportunity to bring someone with vision and relationships across party lines to help make things happen. This would be consistent with the will of the voters in the area due to the fact that candidates ranging from moderate to progressive won most races in the recent election. And I wasn't sure about that statement, so I called the elections office to ask what was the status of that recent election. 2020, Cowlitz County had an 83% voter turnout with 57%, for example, the presidential, 57% voted for Trump and 39% voted for Biden. So this characterization is a fantasy. I would appreciate information and or direction. I'm sorry, this is back to her communication. I would appreciate information and or direction on whether the introduction of a new name with broad community support is possible, and if so, how to go about it. Thank you so much for your help. All the best. Teresa Purcell, Longview Impact Incorporated, Democracy, Government, Economy for All. 3 days later, November 8th, Jamia Thomas to Teresa Purcell. Thank you for your email. I'll be back in touch with you soon. 5 minutes later, Jamia Thomas to Kelly Wicker, CC Catherine Leathers. What's the governor's role? Does he have the ability to appoint someone other than the 3 names recommended by the county commissioners? Please advise. I'll let Teresa know. One of us will be in touch with her soon. 4 minutes later, Catherine Leathers replied, I believe he has 60 days. November 10th, Amber Algera to Sherry Sawyer. Please see Tip's email below about the governor needing to appoint from the list of nominees provided. November 12th, Drew Shirk, also of the governor's office, shares what appears to be a direct message with the team. Rivers sent the name, John Jabusch, and then there's a phone number. And then the reply is, okay, he's not one of the 3 listed from the county referral, but I have an update to share with the group. November 23rd, there was a meeting, the subject, Cowlitz County. November 29th, there was a remote interview with Mr. Jabusch. November 30th, the next day, 9:51 a.m., it was a Tuesday, from Tiffany Ostream of Cowlitz County to Kelly Wicker, the governor's office. Ms. Wicker, Cowlitz County Chairman Dennis Weber is hoping he can speak with the governor regarding the Cowlitz County Commissioner District 3 appointment. He is willing to drive to Olympia this afternoon if there is a possibility to meet in person. Otherwise, a phone call. Is this something you can assist with? December 2nd was kind of a busy day, starting at 8:45 in the morning from Kelly Wicker to the rest of the team. An email announcing the offer had been made to Mr. Jabusch. At 9:51 from Wicker to Wanoff, Algera, Shirk, Ryan, and Lee, the other team members. All my calls are done. Drew, you may want to let Rivers know. And then Tip and Amber, please send a copy of the letter to the county clerk, Tiffany Ostream. So whoever this Rivers is, they seem to be as important as our county clerk in this matter. At 10:17 a.m. from Lee to Mike Falk, FYI, this is happening, but it was decided we won't do a press release. An hour later, from Shirk to Wicker, Wanoff, Algera, Struley, Ryan, and Lee, I notified Rivers. 9:42 from Katie Fairbanks to Mike Falk. Since Jabusch was not one of the 3 finalists of the county selected or an original applicant, I was hoping to clarify how he was elected. 11:44 from Falk to Leathers, Wanoff, and Lee. Hey, team, this reporter has a question about the new Cowlitz appointee because they were, quote, not one of the 3 finalists selected or an original applicant, unquote. They just want to clarify how he came into the mix and was selected. 11:45 from Leathers to Falk, Wanoff, Wickers, and Lee. I have no personal knowledge. 12:07, Wicker replies. He applied. Statute does not require us to select from their 3. We'll forward you another email that Tip wrote. 12:49, Falk to Fairbanks. He applied. Statute does not require us to choose from the 3 submitted. 1:49 p.m., Fairbanks to Falk. Did the governor gather applications once the decision went to him in early November? 2 p.m., Wicker to Falk and team. We didn't formally post the position, but anyone was welcome to apply for it. We got his name from a few community leaders and reached out, hence the letter of interest. 2:25, Falk to team. Do we have his application? They're asking for it as well. Wanoff to team at 2:57. Here is his letter of interest. This is all I have. Falk to Fairbanks. He applied directly to us. Attached is his letter of interest / application. 3:16, Fairbanks to Falk. And did the governor consider any other candidates besides Jabusch and the 3 forwarded by the county? Falk to Fairbanks. I'm not aware of any additional candidates. So after seeing all these documents from the governor's office, I have made several appeals for discussion among my fellow community members and a request of an explanation of these anomalies that I perceive on community social media groups where most of the community conversations are taking place these days. I received one response from James M. Young, who suggested in a rather condescending manner that the process laid out in RCW 3616-110 and implemented by our elected commissioners is a good old boy process, and that Ms. Purcell was only exercising her First Amendment rights as a citizen. I disagree with both. The process is open, transparent, and inclusive to all, and Ms. Purcell was obviously acting in her professional stature, evidenced by her official email and the use of her business letterhead. That aside, I thanked Mr. Young for his interest and told him that I appreciate his personal interest in this matter as he is Ms. Purcell's husband. He again used an uncivil tone, congratulating me on my detective work, adding that the Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew would be proud. And it's ironic that he was one of the first panelists on the LCC forum titled Civility in Uncivil Times. The other response I had was on Mr. Jabusch's campaign Facebook group. Mr. Jabusch's administrator mistakenly asserted that Rick Dahl had also applied directly to the governor's office and simply was not the chosen one. I corrected the error and said he did not apply in the same manner, but through the open public process laid out by our commissioners, to which Ronnie Strode reasserted the erroneous statement and invited me to more discussion. I then asked Mr. Strode if he was working for the Jabusch campaign, since I see he was a campaign organizer for Jamie Herrera Butler and recently graduated from Brown University studying political science. I was promptly blocked from the campaign Facebook page of my own elected official. I did not get the chance to congratulate Mr. Strode on his recent engagement to Sidney Jabusch. Who is this mysterious person, Rivers? Rivers and Teresa Purcell were the only people I see that reached out to the governor's office regarding this appointment. Why are these 2 individuals considered our community leaders by the governor's office and not our elected officials? On December 2nd, 2021, the governor's office described to Katie Fairbanks the process that they used to appoint the position as 1, community leaders, gave them a name, and 2, they reached out to the named person in order to ask him to send a letter of interest. That is the sum of their process. We have laws and processes put in place to organize our government and discourage wrongdoing. Did the governor illegally appoint John Jabusch? Did the Cowlitz County clerk in his or her quasi-judicial position mislead the commissioners in the process to be followed? I believe it is our elected commissioners' duty to appeal to the sheriff, the auditor, and the county district attorney to perform an investigation on behalf of the citizens of Cowlitz County.
Thank you. Anyone else?
So, do you have a recommendation for us? Or is there something you think we should be doing? I think you said that in the last paragraph. You would like us to engage in the auditor, prosecuting attorney, and so forth, and launch an official investigation.
I think that a review of the process and investigation is appropriate. Looking at the RCW, the first one that I mentioned, the 36-16-110, that says one thing. That seems to be the one that the board followed in the process, but the governor's office seems to have not followed that at all, not choosing from 3 applicants and with another person coming in, not through the open public announced way of doing things. Rather, it was the governor's office contacting a person and asking them to apply.
Yeah, through our office, it was a completely open and advertised process. In fact, if I recall correctly, we even extended the time period for accepting applications by up to 2 weeks. I don't recall the exact time. Now, I certainly was unaware that Rivers was involved in this. Rivers is intimately involved with Camp Alabama and Longview.
A person named Rivers. This just says
Okay.
Rivers.
I have inquired when, because you asked me, do I know this person? I said, well, I know one and you asked, is there anyone else? And I don't think there is anyone else. And so this is a little uncomfortable for us to see that there is not some sort of conflict of interest regarding the funding of Camp Alabama as a result of all this, if nothing else.
Other issues as well that would come up to the director of economic and community development. I mean, for that person to be so seemingly involved in placing a person, I mean, it could just look like they're looking for a rubber stamper.
Yeah, and I certainly am bothered by the concept of, I think, what was it, the community leaders? I think your point regarding who are these community leaders is really to the point, and the term of the good old boys is to the point also. We're struggling, or at least I'm struggling with trying to be representative of the people. And this seems to put us at a great disadvantage in issues. Anyhow, but thank you for your work.
We have somebody else ready to speak.